Hello, my name's Kevin Shep, and I'd like to welcome you to episode 3 of Learn, Use, Make, Repeat. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking a little bit more about my coin making journey, which I've talked about in previous episodes. I'd also like to get into my step-by-step method in creating this video podcast, what I do, what tools I use to get it done, because I've got it figured out from step 1 all the way to the end, and I want to walk you through my method to create this video podcast so you can do it yourself if you'd like to, or just to, answer your curiosity of what I'm doing. I'd also like to talk a little bit about a 3D printing project that I worked on yesterday. And I guess I'm going to go ahead and start with that. My son has a skateboard, and it just ends up all over the house on the floor. My wife trips over it all the time. And she came to me and she said, "Can you 3D print something to get this skateboard off the floor?" So I went to Thingiverse and I looked around and I found a 3D printable wall mount for skateboards. And I went ahead and printed that out, and I'm currently in the process of working on a YouTube video that walks you through how I did that. If you'd like to check out that video, once I get it finished, I'll put it in the description below so you can watch it if you'd like to. That's just something I made recently. I still need to get screws for it, that's why I haven't finished the video. So all I need to do is get screws to screw it into the wall, and I will finish that video and upload it onto YouTube, and then include the link for that in the description below. As far as coin ring making, I got a pretty fluid process going. So I've been able to pump out over 20 rings in the last, I think, 4 days, which is an average about 5 rings a day. I made 8 or 10 rings yesterday, so I'm able to make them rather quickly now that I understand the process, and I've addressed where I was getting hung up on the process. I've improvised and I've tried a couple new things, and I've got a pretty streamlined process for creating these rings now. And since I've figured out how to do that, I want to start a new channel on YouTube, a new website dedicated just to coin ring making. So that's going to be something I'm going to be doing over the next week, and I'll kind of walk you through the process of doing that and setting that up in future episodes. Since I haven't started on it, I'm not really going to talk about it too much, but I do want to let you know that, a new YouTube channel for coin ring making is coming, and a new website for coin ring making is coming from me. And that leaves us with the process for how I'm shooting and creating these video podcasts. The first thing I do is I just get my phone in my car, and I've got a little magnetic phone stand. I just stick it on there and I start talking to my phone like I am right now. Occasionally usually I can't get everything out in one video, so I'll stitch all the videos for that particular episode together in iMovie, which came with my iPhone, so that's pretty simple. If you don't have an iPhone, pretty much any video software that allows you to put multiple videos together into a single video should get you through, should get that to work. But what I'm using is iMovie on my phone, and then I will export that file as a video, and then after that I will use a free app. And to find this app, I just went to the App Store and I searched video to audio, and just found the first free one that seemed like it would work pretty well, and it does. I'll get a specific name for that in just a second for you, so you can actually get the correct app for yourself. But basically what it does is it just rips the audio off the video so I can upload it to a podcast app. In the past, I'd been using Anchor to create podcast episodes, but unfortunately, Anchor only allows you to have one podcast. So I had to go and find another podcast app to try and become acquainted with and start using for this new podcast. And I'll get the name for that as well for you in just a second, okay? So the first app I had to look up is the one that kind of pulls the audio from the video file of the video podcast that I made and stitched together on iMovie. And it is called Movie to Audio. It's a free app, and it actually works very fast. I was really surprised. It took maybe 4 seconds to pull the audio from a 22-minute video. So that it's really handy. There's a couple different formats you can export it in. I just picked the one that was default and pulled that audio out, and then I went and found a new podcast maker app, and I just typed in podcast maker in the app store, and I found something called it's like Record Studio by Speaker. It's like a red app. I'll go ahead, if you're watching this video, I'll put a screenshot of both of those apps in so that they're easier for you to find. But they're both free to use. So far I really like using them. They've taken away a lot of worry, and they've really just made the process of creating these video podcasts much easier. So if that's something you're interested in doing, I'll walk you through step by step real quick what I do. I record all the videos, I stitch them together on iMovie, I pull the audio off using Movie to Audio, I upload that audio onto the Podcast Maker app, and then I upload the video onto YouTube. And just like that, I've got a video podcast on 2 platforms, which expands my potential audience that I can teach and share my experiences with. And that's about all I've been working on the past day. Just making coin rings and trying to think about the process of videos I'm going to make to instruct others on my personal method, because I do it a little differently than what I've seen on YouTube. There's tons of videos on YouTube if you want to learn how to make coin rings. There's people who've been doing this for years, so there's a lot of information, a lot you can learn out there. But I'm trying to really strategically plan out my coin ring making videos so that they will be as helpful as possible for newcomers. So that's really going to be my main focus this week, is setting up the platforms and creating the first few sets of content on coin ring making. And that's about it. It's going to be a short episode today. I want to thank you for tuning in, and if you can subscribe, I'd appreciate it. There's going to be lots more learn, use, make, repeat episodes coming at you. It may not be a daily podcast episode. I had 2 days off work, and I just didn't really want to mess with my relaxation by recording videos, so I kind of took a break. I did make coin rings, but I didn't record any episodes. So it looks like this may be like a 5 episode a week podcast, and I still think that's a lot of content. So if you're interested in following me along on my journey, go ahead and subscribe, and have a great day.